The April 28th, 2026 regular Planning Commission meeting is called to order. The time is 6 p.m. Before we begin, commissioners, please put away cell phones. If you have personal business during the meeting, please move for a recess. If you are participating telephonically, please mute your phone unless you are speaking. Also, when speaking, please state your name for those streaming the meeting. As a reminder to attendees, this meeting is being streamed live. The camera is located in the back of the room above the clock. Will the planning clerk please call the roll?
Thank you, Commissioner Seals. Commissioner Brown?
Here.
Commissioner Seals?
Here.
Commissioner DeYoung?
Here.
Commissioner Langell?
Here.
Commissioner Stafford?
Here.
Commissioner Seals, you have a quorum with Commissioners Brown, DeYoung, and Langell in the chambers, as well as Commissioner Stafford participating telephonically.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner DeYoung, will you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. First item of business is approval of the agenda. Before changes are discussed, are there conflicts of interest to declare?
Mr. Chairman, I'm not sure if this will be a conflict since it goes back 40-some years, but I am familiar with the Smiths family. I knew the parents. I worked with the father. The kids and my kids went to school together. I haven't had any business dealings or even know where they're at this point since Dorothy moved out of state.
City Attorney.
So this is actually a very interesting sort of teachable moment. Usually if you have a hearing, a quasi-judicial hearing in front of you, and you're weighing your interests or bias, knowing someone or having a relationship with a family will really matter, right? Because you are making a decision in a quasi-judicial realm like a judge. But with a rezone, it's a legislative decision that you're making. And really, I mean, you're making an advisory decision, so an advisory legislative decision. So it's completely appropriate to participate so long as you don't have a conflict of interest, a substantial financial conflict of interest or otherwise. But on the commission, you have the ability, Commissioner Langell, to decide that you don't want to participate, that you feel that there is a conflict there. But I just wanted you to sort of notice the difference since it's coming up.
Just wanted it on the record.
Yep, no, that was great. Thank you. All right. For members of the public who are here today for the conditional use permit public hearing CU 26-02, due to an updated site plan in that matter and additional information pertinent to the application being needed, that hearing has been postponed until further notice. With that said, are there any changes to the agenda? Hearing no changes to the agenda will stand as presented unless objection is raised. Next on the agenda are reports. Acting City Planner, do we have a report?
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to follow up on a request that Commissioner Langell had asked us to do a land inventory to give a better perspective on what the city owns. And so, one, it confirmed to me why we needed a new ERP system or a new financial system for the city so we can get these reports very easily. But secondarily, I just want to give you a very broad summary. If you want more details, just call me at the office. But the city of Wasilla has about 1,100 acres of property that we own. They're primarily for the core government services like your utilities, infrastructure for the right-of-ways or easements, and then parks and rec. And so if we break those down by categories, we have a general fund, which is where most of our municipal operations, our public facilities, and future development land. There's about 43 parcels in that category. This is where the roads facility, the maintenance facility, some of our water infrastructure, our water towers, our PVR stations, the cemetery, that would be in that fund. We also have an airport land fund that's primarily about 526 acres right now. The purpose is to support the runway expansion and other operations that will go on at the airport. We have a special purpose land account that is primarily 9 parcels. Those support our municipal and community uses. That's like the Menard Center. There's 59, almost 60 acres with the Menard Center, about 79.12 acres at the Lake Lucille Park, and 120 acres at the Bumpus Fields. We also have water and sewer. So in the sewer land, we have about 152 acres. That's for the treatment of our sewer. And then we've got 3 parcels for water. There are some properties that we own outside of the city, and the purpose for those is potential annexation opportunities. There's part of the airport that is not in the city. It's actually in the borough. So that would be an example of that. And then there are some smaller residentials that we have here and there that I will provide a more detailed inventory at the next meeting with those.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a report from our city attorney tonight?
No report.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is public participation. Public participation is a time for the public to comment on any matter except agenda items that are on the agenda that are scheduled for public, legislative, or quasi-judicial hearing. So I'm going to clear that up. So if you're here to speak on something that was postponed tonight, you can speak during this time and it will be on the record. So thank you for coming tonight. I really appreciate that the public is here. So we are now persons to be heard, a time for members of the public to share their views with the Planning Commission. This is not a question and answer period or a time for dialogue. Speakers may be referred to administration, or issues raised may be taken under advisement by the commission or administration. Anyone wishing to step forward may do so at this time. Welcome. Please write your name and contact information on the sign-up sheet. When you're finished, state your name for the record, and you will have 3 minutes to speak.
Thank you. I might have jumped the gun. Is this on? It's
Push-
red.
No, it's gotta be
Push
green.
it and it'll go green.
There you go.
There you go.
Thank you. I wanted to, my name is Jeremy Collier, and I wanted to speak about CU 2602 that was postponed tonight. With my wife, we own the Collier Professional Building located at 800 East Railroad, directly across from the subject property. I'm an attorney. I've been a member of this community for nearly all of my 42 years, except some times that I was participating in schooling out of state. I'm speaking today to voice my opposition to this particular project for high density, low income housing. I've lived here long enough to watch the current area in question develop into an expanding commercial hub that has become a vital part of our thriving and growing community. I watched the Palmer-Wasilla Highway extension come through. I watched Home Depot and the Bentonuta Clinic come in. I watched Crema, Three Bears gas station, Senor Taco, Basil Ginger, car washes, doctor's office, dentist's offices, Matsu Central School building, the hairdressers, real estate offices, and the area is just continuing to grow in this commercial fashion. My building alone houses a law firm, an IT networking firm, a mental health practice, an international insurance company, and an eye care facility that has expanded its practice from Anchorage out to the valley. This is new growth in the community, and we need to encourage projects that continue to fuel that business growth. And that's why I think that this land was already zoned as commercial land to continue that growth. There's already additional development plans completely surrounding this proposed area. That whole Palmer-Wasilla Highway just to the south, in between the Bentonuta and Home Depot area, all that area is already got projects starting all the time. More commercial projects along this same corridor are essentially shovel ready, and allowing this building project at this time would work against the already expanding commercial zone and commercial plan for the area. The city is expanding. Planning must be purposeful, and this is the time to really scrutinize what type of project we want to see here and help shape the future. This was already zoned commercial for a reason. Rezoning it as low income, high density residential is a step backward from the development and forward thinking for the future of our city. I've heard the mayor say that the city of Wasilla is open for business. And I've heard the city managers and department heads echo the same. But this does not open the city for business. Approval of this project will hurt business development in downtown Wasilla. I also don't think it's frankly safe with road expansion. 63 units with, I don't know, I could guess 3 units, 3 people average per unit would equal about 190 people living in this dense area, walking along this major thoroughfare that's already expanding traffic. And there's just not the ability for flow. Low income housing opportunities are a fantastic resource for the community as a whole, but this specific project is bad for the city in many ways. And I just anyway.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You did well with your 3 minutes. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Welcome. Write your name and contact information on the sign-up sheet. When you're finished, state your name for the record and you will have 3
Chad
minutes
Wemple.
to speak. Perfect. Good evening, Chad.
General manager and co-owner of Alaska Concrete Guy WFB Construction Services. I think with that, pretty obvious, I'm pro-growth. I moved up here in '88, and I think I forgot to close the gate behind me and put the barbed wire up. I miss old Alaska, but you know, it needs to grow, and it's growing. People are moving here. Being pro-growth and also having a heart for, you know, low-income housing, it's needed. It's not something that can be shelved. It's something that needs to be paid attention to. But consequently, I agree with Mr. Collier that it's poorly placed. There's a lot of places that can more easily, that are more conducive to that, to the density of people, the foot traffic. That's in a prime area for growth. This is one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. Wow, who would have thunk that? But here we are. I think, you know, going forward, we need to think carefully how we're going to do that and where we're going to place things, and having that area already slated, you know, primarily earmarked for commercial development. I can't see where it makes good sense in our community to, you know, 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And although I'm an advocate for landowner rights, so I'm kind of speaking against what I believe in, but I think thinking as a community member that's counterproductive for our community, and it's a very ill-placed location, or, you know, counterproductive to the future plan, stated plan of the city and what's already happening there. I, you know, chose this to get involved. I guess if you can't complain if you don't get involved. And I think that this was, you know, I saw that and I thought, why are they doing that? And so I'm here to ask, why are they doing that, or why would this even be considered? That's prime real estate, more tax dollars for the city and the community. I think the commissioners should think twice before giving I think it's an amendment or a zoning, alternative zoning change. Sorry for not having the eloquent
You're
words
fine.
that go along with that, but I think it's counterproductive to smart growth. That's my 2 cents. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Chair, Was he speaking to the one that was removed or the one?
Yes.
Yes.
Is there anyone else wishing to speak? All right, with no one wishing to speak, the next item is approval of the minutes. Is there a motion to approve the April 14th, 2026 minutes?
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the minutes.
Commissioner Langell, second.
It has been moved by Commissioner Brown and seconded by Commissioner Langell to approve the April 14th, 2026 minutes. Are there any objections to the motion? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Pardon me. Next on the agenda is new business. First item under new business is Resolution 2606, resolution of the Planning Commission recommending approval of the rezone application filed by RFN Properties LLC to rezone Brookwood Commercial Park Subdivision lots 2 and 3 from rural residential district to commercial district. This is a resolution for the commission's consider of a rezone application. Under municipal code, the commission holds a public hearing before making its recommendations regarding a rezone application. A public hearing on a resolution recommending approval or recommending denial of a rezone application is a legislative hearing similar to the public hearings held by City Council on ordinance. As a legislative public hearing, the hearing is a time for members of the public, the applicant, and the administration to share their views with the Planning Commission. Unlike public comment periods, the commission members may ask questions of members of the public and administration during the hearing. Once I open the legislative hearing, I will ask for comments from the applicant, then the administration, and then the public. Again, commission members may have questions throughout the hearing. Each speaker will be given 3 minutes to talk, but questions from the commission will not count towards this time. Once everyone wishing to speak has had an opportunity to do so, I will close the public hearing and the commission will consider the resolution before it. The resolution was drafted by the administration and thus reflects the findings the administration recommends. If the commission does not agree with those findings and cannot amend the findings to reflect the commission's viewpoint, I anticipate the commission will postpone the proposed resolution indefinitely, and the planner will be directed to prepare a resolution reflecting the findings of the commission and to bring that resolution back to the commission at its next meeting for consideration. Once a resolution containing the commission's recommendations has been adopted, it will be sent to the city council along with an ordinance approving the rezone application for the city council's ultimate decisions. Are there any questions regarding the rezone application process from the commissioners? I will now open the legislative public hearing for Resolution 2606. Does the applicant want to speak on this application?
Yes.
You have 3 minutes, and if we have questions, we will make sure that the time is equitable for you.
My name is Todd Smith. I'm with RFN Properties.
Excuse me. You're gonna need to be
Get
closer
to the microphone,
Or you can move it over.
or you can move it.
There you go.
My first time here, so all right.
No, you're
So
doing
my
great.
name is Todd Smith. My first name is Frank on the application, but I go by my middle name Todd. I'm with RFN Properties. We own Brookwood Commercial Park, and we are requesting a rezone of lots 2 and 3 from rural residential to commercial. We feel that rezoning these lots to commercial, the designation provides the highest and best use of the property. It also aligns with the current area being a commercial kind of a commercial district right there. You have adjacent properties that are commercial. You have businesses across Connect that are commercial. And Conway Creek provides a natural barrier on the south side to kind of buffer anything on the other side of the creek. There is one residential property at the end of Hardrock Circle, which ironically was the Arctic Cat dealership many, many years ago. But we actually feel like we're aligning with the current comprehensive plan, and also what we feel the update to the comprehensive plan will also show that these will be best suited as commercial properties as well to service the area. We think that there's a vital need for the commercial zone properties in the city of Wasilla, which has been presented here previously with the growth all down Palmer Wasilla. They've just been waiting for it to turn the corner, and that infrastructure has been greatly improved in the last few years. When the state has done the intersection, the borough's done work. We have improved Hardrock Circle so as the city can maintain it and the safety services can get down there. The borough just finished their eminent domain take for the current improvements that are going to happen, which I'm sure everybody there is aware of, but the work they're doing in the creek there with the Fisk Passage, and then also along Fern Street there and all along there is greatly improving that area as well. It's just we feel like it's a logical expansion right there because they sit right in the middle of an existing commercial area. Yeah, we feel like it's just a really good fit for the area and a natural fit. So that's our request. Thank you.
Okay, well, hang on.
All right.
Hang on.
I figured.
Any questions for the applicant from the commission?
Commissioner Langell to the applicant. Although this application fits the code perfectly, I still have concerns with the use of commercial property and how it is being used within the city. It's hodgepodge still. And in here, you never say what type of, you have no idea what type of commercial will go on this property once it's zoned commercial.
Correct. We have no current plans to develop or build anything other than rezoning it and then marketing it to available businesses that will be able to provide those services. Our feedback we've had realtors as well as business owners, even though you can do some level of commercial under rural residential, they prefer to have the commercial residential. If they're going to invest in a business, they want that flexibility. It's important to them. Even if everything they're doing fits into rural residential, they want that flexibility to grow with their needs in the future. So no, we have no current plans to do anything there except make it the highest and best use, which is commercial.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from the commission to the applicant? Does the planner want to speak on the application?
Thank you, Chair. I would like to introduce Stephanie Queen. She's has called in. She is contracted by the city as a credentialed planner who works collaboratively with us to ensure that we've checked all the boxes and that this packet is complete. And so I would like her to give a brief summary of our findings for the record. Stephanie, are you there?
Yes, thank you, Ms. Nygaard. Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Stephanie Queen, and I was retained to support the city staff on this application, and I prepared the staff report and will be presenting the recommendation this evening. This is a request, as you heard, from RFN Properties to rezone approximately 7.8 acres, which consists of 2 undeveloped lots from rural residential to commercial. The subject parcels are located at the corner of South Fern Street and East Hardrock Circle. They're bordered by Cottonwood Creek to the south. And as you heard from the applicant, there's commercially zoned property immediately north and west across the street, as well as rural residential properties to the south and to the east. The site is undeveloped and it's generally flat, and it has somewhat of a slope down towards the creek, Portions of it are within the 100-year floodplain, and that's reflected on the plat that it was submitted as an attachment. Access is provided by South Fern Street, which is classified as a major collector in the borough's road plan, and East Hardrock Circle, which is currently under a warranty period, but will be a city-maintained paved road. Public water and sewer are not currently available to this site. They are approximately 550 feet away on the other side of Goose Bay Road. So extending public water and sewer would require likely a boring underneath Goose Bay Road, or the property could be developed with on-site services. Under Wasilla Municipal Code Title 16, there are just really two criteria that are important for the Commission to evaluate in considering whether to approve a rezone request. The first is whether the rezone is consistent with the comprehensive plan. And then secondly, whether the request preserves public health, safety, and welfare. With respect to the comprehensive plan, I understand you're going through a process of updating that right now, but for the purposes of this application, we'll be referring to the 2011 comprehensive plan. And as you know, that's a compilation of policy statements, goals, as well as maps and standards that are in that document. On the future land use map, this area and these parcels specifically are classified as generally residential. Because the zoning is intended to generally follow that map, I would say that the proposed rezone to commercial is not entirely consistent with the future land use map, because it's not one of the zoning districts identified to implement that classification in the comprehensive plan. However, there are other policy statements and goals within that plan that I think do support approval of this request. Specifically, the document talks about allowing for flexibility in interpreting land use boundaries through the rezone process. In this case, the parcels are directly adjacent to and across the street from existing commercially zoned land. And therefore, I feel that the request represents a limited expansion in a logical area of an existing commercial area, rather than creating an isolated or new district. And the two parcels also fit what the comprehensive plan describes as siting criteria for commercial uses. Specifically, it talks about proximity to existing commercial development, location along transportation corridors, and both of those criteria are present here. So based on these factors, and as outlined in the proposed findings of fact, which is Exhibit A to the resolution, staff finds the proposed rezone is generally consistent with the comprehensive plan. We next look at public health, safety, and welfare. And this is a criteria really looked at preventing negative impact. So we wouldn't want to approve a request or recommend approval of a request that could create unsafe conditions or strain on infrastructure and services or create significant negative impact to neighbors or the community in general. And in looking at that evaluation, the proposed rezone, as I mentioned, extends an existing district rather than isolating or creating a new one. We didn't identify any potential impacts to adjacent properties that couldn't be addressed through development review standards. So as was just discussed, there's not currently proposed development. If and when that happens, the city's site plan review process will help address things such as buffering, setbacks, landscaping requirements, etc. The location is adequately served by public safety infrastructure, transportation infrastructure. I did mention that the water and sewer are not available adjacent to this site, but could be extended or on-site systems could be used. So as we also said in Exhibit A, there's some draft findings, but I'll reiterate that we find that the proposed rezone would preserve public health, safety, and welfare. Next, and finally, we evaluated whether the request would exhibit characteristics commonly associated with spot zoning in the state of Alaska. And based on the size of the parcels, their location adjacent to this existing commercial zoning, and the surrounding development patterns, staff finds that it does not exhibit any of those characteristics. So based on the analysis in the staff report and the proposed findings of fact, staff does recommend the Planning Commission adopt Resolution PZ 2606. Adopting this resolution would forward a positive recommendation to the Wasilla City Council for their final consideration. Thank you. That concludes my staff report, but I'll remain available to answer any questions.
Thank you. Any questions for the planner from the commission?
Just a comment, Mrs. Queen, excellent job.
Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Are there members of the public wishing to speak regarding this application and resolution 2606? State your name for the record when,
Chad Wemple.
and you'll have 3 minutes to speak,
That's-
Chad.
That piece of property is prime commercial property. It's properly located, and I don't know the fellow back there. Have no conflicts of interest, but that's smart planning. And that's what our community needs to be doing. So I reiterate, we really need to be thinking about what we're doing going forward, being one of the fastest growing cities in the United States. If we don't get this right, we're going to have a quagmire, and his intended use for that is perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to speak? Hearing and seeing no other members of the public wishing to speak, the public hearing is now closed. Is there a motion to adopt resolution 26-06?
Commissioner Langill, I move to approve resolution serial number 2606.
Is there a second?
Commissioner DeYoung, second.
Mr. Chairman,
Is there any discussion?
discussion. I don't know if this would be appropriate, but is it possible for the commission to add in this resolution that the planner will bring back a CUP on the use of how this commercial property is going to be used when it comes to that point? Planner.
So the. planner
Mr.
will
Chairman,
write
I
the-
raised to a point of order. I'm sorry, but this has been going on too long.
I'm sorry. Oh, do you not want me to answer? Are you saying you want I'm sorry, Commissioner Langill. I'm not sure what you're,
Was this a question to the planner?
because
It's a question to the planner.
Oh,
The-
I'm sorry. I'm answering the question as the lawyer. I understand the code. And so what you can and cannot do regarding a conditional use permit when it comes before you, what the implications are under federal, state and local law. I'm obligated to give that advice to this commission. That's why they
Well,
pay me. to
I'm
say-
sorry, but you are
So-
not a member of the commission. The
Okay.
question was to the planner.
So I just want to be
Thank you.
clear. You do not want the attorney to answer the legal question.
No,
you
I
asked,
don't.
And you're stating that on the record. Okay. We can try to answer it, but I would recommend that you maybe say you need to defer for the attorney. Because when you can bring that is a question of the law.
Interruption again, point of order.
Okay, the planner can answer your question.
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, this is Stephanie Queen. I've included in the packet a land use comparison chart, which is copied directly from your Title 16 code, and it specifies the type of uses that are allowed, disallowed, or conditional under the commercial zoning district. So if this resolution is approved, and if the City Council ultimately does approve an ordinance amending the zoning to commercial, then the planners and the administration would follow that section of the code to determine whether a specific proposal was either allowed, disallowed, or conditional.
Thank you.
So, Chair Seals to Commissioner Langill. The zoning is different than the CUP process. So once it becomes commercial, say a new tenant wants to come on to this piece of property, they will follow code and present either a CUP or another proposal for the use. And I will refer what I'm saying to the attorney to back me up.
Yes, so what I would say is, when you ask if a conditional use permit will be brought forward by the planner, that will depend on the language of the code. So we can't, the planner can't really answer that question. But she did a very beautiful job referring you to the form, but the answer is we don't know. It really depends on the use itself. That's a separate process outside of the legislative process you're going through now.
Commissioner Langell to the chair. I understand the process. My question was very simple. Is it possible for the commission to ask the council, would it be possible to have a CPU on this particular piece of property brought before the commission before it's approved for use? No more interruptions. I understand. I take my question off the table. Thank you.
Comment.
Commissioner Brown?
Thank you. Commissioner Brown, to the city administrator or the attorney, I guess I'm a little confused here as to where the city is going and what they're doing. I mean, it's off the table where we had a proposal to take commercial property and turn it to residential. And now, and with the argument I heard tonight from citizens was we need to keep that commercial. Now we have residential property that we want to turn to commercial. At the same time, I'm told that Wasilla area, the valley, is the fastest growing area in the United States and definitely inside of Alaska, which implies to me if it's growing, that means more residential areas required. But we have a proposal now to take residential area away. And looking at the map, but it still just outside of town, and it's already a lot of residential area around there. I'm just confused, Mr. Chair, as to what are we doing here when we, on one hand, say we're growing, we got more citizens moving in, but we're going to take away take away residential area and make it commercial. And my question to the city administrator is it appropriate for us to do this when we have not upgraded our new policies, and those policies is in the work right now, which could change how we view this area?
Thank you, Chairman Brown. I appreciate those kind of questions. This particular piece of property, even 5 years ago, would not have the transportation or the connection that the borough has invested in making that traffic reasonably, like the access and the things that they've done in that area support it. If you look on your land use chart, you will see that we still allow single family dwellings. It's just a different instrument. Instead of an AP, they would get a CUP. So there are the instruments there for housing. There's also for commercial that's more than 10,000 gross floor area is not allowed in that zone right now, but it is with the CUP under commercial. So this district chart that's provided will show you there's still a lot of viable ways that they can produce a reasonable amount of development. And for the city, because we live on 2.5% sales tax, we obviously encourage commercial in a commercial district. So this would blend very nicely with our goal.
Thank you.
Did that answer your question, Commissioner Brown? Thank you. Is there any more discussion? Todd, do you have anything to say?
The only input I would have is if we take commercial property and make it residential, we lose the opportunity to have a business that we can get the 2.5% sales tax. If we take a residential property and make it commercial, we create that opportunity to capture the 2.5% sales tax. So taking residential to commercial is something I would be in favor of, since we rely on that sales tax for city revenue.
Thank you.
Commissioner Langell to the chair.
Go ahead.
I understand Commissioner's comment as far as sales tax revenue to the city, but there's more to the city than sales tax. People live here. They have families here. we need to look at the whole community and how best to use the land. And we're running out of land within the city boundaries. That's all.
Thank you. I could comment on that. I know that we have another round of Title 16 coming. And this commercial zone needs to be addressed. The city council, the administration is fully aware that this situation needs to be addressed. And in the future, there may be mixed use availability where this property could have both residential and commercial at the same time. So I follow along with Commissioner Stafford on this, that we do run on sales tax here in the city. And people want the services that the city provides. So we need to provide business the opportunity to provide the city that money and services to the public. And that would be my comments on this particular thing. Is there any
Chair,
further?
could I ask Stephanie if she would like to weigh in on that as well?
Sure. Stephanie, would you like to weigh in on this?
Thank you for the question. I don't think I have additional comments to provide. Really, my kind of the basis of how I approach this and how your code asks us to approach this is really to focus on those two criteria, the comprehensive plan, which, as I mentioned, is a compilation of things, but also health, wellness, and safety. So I think really the staff report contains all of my thoughts on that. I tried to be very thorough so that the commission would have all relevant considerations at your disposal to think through. So no additional comments at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Lanchell, just a question from your comments. Are you saying with the review and rewrite of Title 16, this property and all properties within the city could be changed? The use?
No.
Okay, I just misunderstood you.
Thank you. Okay, I have a motion on the floor. It has been moved by Commissioner Langell and Commissioner DeYoung to approve resolution serial number 2606. Will the planning clerk please call for a roll call vote to approve resolution serial number 26-06?
Thank you, Commissioner Seals. Commissioner Brown?
No.
Commissioner Seals?
Yes.
Commissioner Langell?
Yes.
Commissioner DeYoung?
Yes.
Commissioner Stafford?
Yes.
Commissioner Seals with 4 votes yes and 1 vote in opposition. The resolution 26-06, a resolution of the Planning Commission recommending approval of the rezone application filed by RFN Properties LLC to rezone Brookwood Commercial Park Subdivision lots 2 and 3 from rural residential district to commercial district is approved.
Thank you. We are now at unfinished. With no items under unfinished business, we move to communications. Communications are included on the agenda. There are no action items under communication. Do we now move on to audience comments? We are now to audience comments, a time for members of the public to share their views with the commission. This is not a question and answer period or time for dialogue. Speakers may be referred to administration, or issues raised may be taken under advisement by the council or administration. Is there anyone present who would like to address the commission?
Chair, one interruption. Did you have the planning clerk read in the communications into the record?
Wasn't in the script.
There aren't any. So that's why I moved on. Thank you, though.
There are communications, 10-1, 10-2, 10-3.
There's no need to read those into the record. They're on your agenda. You can read them, but that's why the chair didn't read them. I mean, it's appropriate, especially for a commission member, for them to appear on your agenda and for you to move through your agenda for the things that you're taking action on. Or you can read them. It doesn't, either way, it's fine.
Okay, under communications, we have permits and license issued April 8th, 2026 through April 21st, 2026. Enforcement law, alleged code violations April 8th through April 21st, 2026. Sitney Borough Planning Commission agenda for April 2026. Questions by the commission on any communications? They weren't on my sheet. So I moved on. All right. With no one wishing to address the commission, we now move on to comments. Does the acting city planner have any comments?
Oh, I'll make some comments. I thought you guys went back.
Oh, no.
We'll move back to audience comments.
We can move back to audience comments, please. I really appreciate this.
Hopefully,
This number of the public showing up for a meeting
No, this is a
greatly
good thing, yes.
appreciated.
well,
So
we'll
if you
see.
have
It's-
something to speak, we're gonna make room for you.
Yeah. My name's Brian Bess. I live here in the city. I've been here for quite some time. I guess I bought my house inside the city limits in 2013, and I know it's not a Q&A, but I have some questions or concerns in reference to code compliances, in reference to especially public nuisances. I live off of Woodcrest Drive. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that, but I'm the guy with a really nice, beautiful green lawn that has 3 junkyards across the street. Several of us filed complaints over a year ago. All were closed but one. And I looked back on the records and it just disappeared. And so a lot of the inaction, I had been in contact with Charlie a little bit. I gotta watch my time.
You're fine.
And I know there was a lot of Title 16 being redone, which confused me of why we did that. And that was a lot of the holdup of why this couldn't be enforced. I didn't understand why we changed the codes. But I don't understand how all of the complaints were closed or disappeared and no action's been taken, and it's gotten worse. It's getting really bad. And so I'm trying to understand. I know that I've talked to Julia, so this is kind of beating a dead horse to death because I sent a pretty detailed email to her in reference to that. I think there's some action being taken now, but I don't understand why it's taken up several emails, phone calls, me being here for actions to be taken. And my other question is, do we have to complain, or, when our code compliant officer sees, not every time somebody has a fire, but I mean, when you see obvious flagrant junkyards in a, R1 district with a bunch of nice houses, do the neighbors have to complain, or can we, start to enforce this? It's just concerning. I mean, the one property has turned into, 4 within eyesight. I think one saw that the others got away with it. And so everybody says, oh, I don't have to clean my lawn anymore. And one's actually running a junk business. I mean, they're brought in 2 trailers today of junk. And I mean, it's R1 residential. And you drive by, it's pretty obvious. So those are just kind of my comments. I hope that, maybe this isn't the right group to address, but.
No, it's perfectly within your right to address that at the commission hearing or meeting tonight. And I can refer you to administration. Again, I know Charlie's working real hard. I know the city is working on getting Charlie some help. Why your complaints disappeared, I don't know. But I know that if the city administration will work with you, and Charlie will work with you to address this situation. And we really appreciate that you came tonight and spoke to the commission on this matter.
Yeah, I appreciate that. It just, like I said, it's been over a year. Tired of driving in the mud.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else wishing to speak tonight? All right. Back to comments. Did you get your comments in, acting city planner?
No, and I have a lot of them, but I'll just save them for another time.
She's like, I wish we would have done the same.
City Attorney, do you have any comments tonight?
I will be brief, but I do want to say this. So under contract, I come here to the commission meeting because the city council directs me to do so. And I am responsible for sharing the state of the law based on the questions you asked that are based in the law. So to the extent that commissioners disagree with what I have to say or don't want me to do it in that particular way, the best course of action is for you to speak to your council members, let them know of your dissatisfaction. And that is that's the best course of action because they both hire and fire legal counsel for the city. So that is all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Brown, do you have any comments tonight?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And to the city attorney, I like it when you smack my hand, so keep doing it. I'm glad everybody came out tonight and spoke their concerns and their support or against. And I just wish more citizens would come out and get involved in the process. That's how Wasilla is going to progress in the right direction. Without that, you got 5 people up here who may make a decision you may not like. And it's your chance to participate and demand things go the way you desire. So thanks for coming out.
Commissioner Langell, do you have any comments?
Oh, a couple of them as usual. But first, I would like to thank Ms. Queen and the deputy administrator. You have a great one there. I hope we don't lose her, even if it is via contract. To the attorney, I have no problem with the attorney being at this meeting. My concern is the disruption and not following decorum and procedure. The attorney is part of the city staff. If the council wishes for the attorney to become one member of this commission, then they need to change the code. They cannot do it by contract, but the attorney is not on this commission. The attorney should request from the chair to be recognized as anybody else. No, you don't have, I'm sorry, you don't have special privileges just because you are an attorney. I'm sorry. Maybe we need to take it back to the council.
Mr. Chairman, I suggest this is a discussion for executive session. And,
Yes.
And we should move on from this.
Yes.
Fine, let's go to executive session, but I don't know why.
Do you have any other comments this evening, Commissioner Langell?
No.
Thank you. Commissioner DeYoung, do you have any comments?
No.
Commissioner Stafford, I haven't forgotten you completely. Do you have any comments this evening?
The only comment I'd like to make for both the commissioners and the city staff is when speaking, just be aware of how far away you are from your microphone. About half of tonight's discussion, I really struggled to hear. So if everyone could just make sure when you're speaking, your microphone is off. When you're not speaking, your microphone is on. When you're not speaking, it's off. And then also be sure to be speaking into your microphone so anyone listening via YouTube or calling in can be aware of the discussion as well. But that's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Stafford. I have a few comments as chair tonight. Number one, the city attorney is a valuable tool for this commission. We may not always attract her attention for comments in the right way, but she is protecting all of us up here on the diocese. So that is my comment for the attorney. My comment for the way this land use went is very driven by the fact that I've been in this city since 1974. I have seen so many things that have gone right, and I've seen so many things that have gone wrong. And I believe that this commission at this time is working towards the betterment of this city. And that's all the comments I have this evening. Thank you. With no further business at hand, I'm adjourning this meeting unless an objection is raised. The meeting is adjourned at 6:54 PM. Thank you, everyone. We really appreciate the public